Good morning, happy Discmas. It's Teresa from Accelerator Coaching here. I've decided to share with you a summary about DiSC, and this is for people who have already had a DiSC delivered to them by me over the past year, but also for those of you who haven't yet had one and would like to understand a little bit more about it. I'm also going to share with you an updated team decoder, which I invite you to print off and to use when planning your 2021 goals. So I've chosen to share this with you now before Discmas, Christmas, and invite you to just really consider your communication style and how that will serve you in terms of identifying goals and plans for 2021. So I'm just going to share the screen and share a little bit about DiSC. So when you complete a DiSC profile, it takes 7 minutes-ish to complete, and then I tend to deliver it over 90 minutes, unless of course I've got other things. I'll do some coaching as well with that. And I use a steering wheel because my business is accelerator coaching. So a high D, a person with a high style D is well, there's 4 letters and there's no right or wrong. Just like I have a cup of coffee here, there's no right or wrong way. Mine's frothy. Some people like a black Americano. Some people like a latte. And we're all a blend of these 4 letters. I chose to do DiSC because it's simple but not simplistic. There is Myers-Briggs. There's lots of other tools out there, but this takes 7 minutes, gives you a 15 to 17 page report, and I just fell in love with it because it's 96.8% scientifically accurate and proven. It's been used for 35 years. The company I get these through do $1 million a year, and they expect their coaches to be certified and accredited to deliver these. So in terms of the 4 letters, D stands for driver in the steering wheel accelerator coaching world. And these other words are direct, decisive, a doer. And D's tend to be a kind of a red in colour and account for 3 to 4% of the population. I styles stand for ignition, inspiring, interactive, interesting, about 11% of the population. S styles are more people focused, like the I's, and perhaps a little bit more reflective. So they're more steadier, they're the seat belts, they're stable, they're supportive, they're sincere, very relational, and they account for around 67% of the population. You'll notice the D's and I's here, we have an active pace, so it's sort of faster, get things done quite quickly. Then the I's and S's are people focused, and then we have the S's and the C's, more reflective. So moving on to the C's, they've probably worked out the difference of percentage of what they are, which is around 17%. And why I'm saying around is the figures have changed, give or take 2 or 3% in the past couple of years. So they are task focused like the D's, tend to be the clutch, the cautious, careful, conscientious. And like I say, there's no right or wrong way. It's more about solving the people puzzle and using your style and appropriately and maximizing your communication effectiveness when working with loved ones, team members, business partners. So let me give you some examples. Some of the prime ministers we've had. D would be a Boris. I would be a Tony Blair. S would be a John Major. C would be a Gordon Brown. They're all doing the same job. But the difference is they're aware of who to surround themselves with to complement their communication style. And that's really key. So if C's are going to be very analytical, so Stephen Jobs, Bill Gates, quite a lot of geniuses, Einstein, they tend to be very high C style. And they want time alone. They tend to be quite introverted. They get their energy from within. So they may not need to be interacting. They don't really like to be meeting lots of new people as a rule. And so it's worth bearing that in mind. And the same with I's and D's, who are quite sort of straight there, get things done. I's love to pick up the phone and have a chat to people. And they've got to be mindful that S's may be more reserved and C's may be. So it's understanding the people puzzle. So I'm just going to share another tool with you. And this is my Excel spreadsheet, the team decoder, and just invite you to print this off and use it when you're planning your 2021. I've updated this since I sent some of you a decoder. So I just invite you to really look at this again. And you can see here the typical dreams of a high D: achieving money, I's being a star, money, prestige, S's safety, security, harmony, and family, C's doing things to a high standard. Blind spots of a D: the feelings of others, I's remembering past commitments, S moving quickly on problems or issues, and C's blind spots, seeing the big picture and perhaps feelings. This by no means looks at the emotional side of people or any kind of flaws with people. This is purely looking at communication style. So the beauty of DiSC is, again, I invite you to share with friends and colleagues, and is that we can do a generic DiSC. It gives you 3 graphs and 17-page report. One graph is your natural style. The other graph shows that what your style is currently at work and how you're adapting your communication style, which can change quite significantly. And it can also display if you're quite unhappy in your role. And then the middle graph, graph 2, shows your style under pressure, and that graph's the least likely to change. And so once you're aware of what happens to your communication style under pressure at work and naturally, it can really help understand yourself and how you're communicating with others during those different scenarios. We can also do health and fitness DiSC profiles, leadership, sales DiSC profiles. I can do team dynamic reports. So if I come into a company, I can do individual DiSC profiles, but then combine them all and look at the overall style and energy that the whole team has combined. And there's also a new all singing, all dancing 4D DiSC report, which costs a bit more to buy in. And I'm happy to share that with you if anybody's interested. So just wanted to share this with you as a little Discmas offering, just to remind you of how wonderful you are and to focus on all those strengths in your DiSC profile. And if you haven't had one already, I'm here. Just give me a call, and thank you for listening. Have a great Christmas.